Hey guys, Sir Robert here, and we're going to look at how to hog. So for Town Hall 8s, the hogs are really the best attack troop that you have. They're the strongest. A good hog attack will 3-star every single Town Hall 8 base. Not to say that, bases can't be 3-star with dragons and balloons, but it's a little harder now. People have developed and designed these bases a little better. Go iPad, which is not my favorite attack, as you guys know, but that's come away. There are some bases that can be go wiped for 3 stars, but the hogs still is the absolute best. What's going on here? Is the best attack that we have. Um, so we're going to look at things that you need to worry about and how really to hog. So the first thing is with a hog attack is, and it's probably the most important step, is killing the clan castle troops. This is one attack that if you don't kill every single clan castle troop, you will not 3-star the base. You may not even 2-star the base. Even one wizard left behind can absolutely wreck your hogs. So it's imperative that you guys do that. We're not going to talk about how to kill clan castle troops. You guys should know that, or you can look up other videos of how to kill clan castle troops. Um, a standard lore can do it with bringing the clan castle troops out to a corner and using a couple barbs to draw some fire and some wizards. But again, you guys can figure out how to do that. Another attack that people are using, which I think is a little more advanced, you have to know what base to use it on, would be using golems and wizards like you would in a go wipe, essentially. Um, sending them up into the base, drawing out the clan castle troops, and then the wizards and raging the wizards to kill the clan castle troops. The real reason of using that is if you thought you had some big double sets of giant bombs in the central part of the base that you wanted to destroy, and you wanted your golems to get in there. Again, that's someone who's experienced using the golems for that way, experience with go wipe attacks, getting the golems into the middle of the base. And again, the real reason for using that is because you have giant bombs in the middle of the base that you wanted to destroy. Which brings me to my next important point is the giant bombs. One more strategy too, actually, is using dragons. I've seen that done. I've done it myself, where you use dragons as your cleanup troop and you for them, and all the rest of your troops are hogs. So basically, what you would do, this would be a base that you could do it on. Looking at these air defenses, that's about their range. So what you could do is you can send dragons in from the top here to come down into the base and lure the clan castle troops out, and they would basically kill the clan castle troops, and the remaining 2 or 3 dragons would basically clean up the rest of the base. That works fairly well too. Again, on the right base, this base would be a good base for it, and the reason why it would be a good base for it is because that's about the range of the air defenses here. So you'll be able to knock all these buildings out before they get in range of the air defense. That's a pretty good base for that, because your clan castle troops will come out. They'll be killed outside the air defense range, and then of course you can hog, and the hogs basically take out those air defenses, and you're basically in clean-up mode. So that would be another option as well. So again, 3 options: standard clan castle lore, kill the troops in the corner. You can use a golem, 1 or 2 depending, with wizards with a rage to get into the central core of the base, mainly to kill the double sets of giant bombs or just giant bombs in the center. Or you could use a dragon with hog attack as well. But again, those are more experienced attacks, and I think you should probably get used to doing a standard hog attacks of 10 or a few more wizards and some barbs to do the standard clan castle lore, and basically all hogs with 3 heal spells. That's really the key. So then you want to learn how to look at these bases, and this is not a good base for a beginner for hogging, because there are a lot of spots that you can have these giant bombs, and that makes it difficult, because those are the biggest risk to the hogs, is hitting into these giant bombs, and that's a big risk. So there's so many areas here that makes it a little tougher. And basically, if you can take out those areas, if you know there's a giant bomb there, if you can take out the defense next to it so the hogs don't have to run over it and path over those areas, that would be a big plus. Another thing that's a more advanced thing is to think about is pathing of the hogs going over free areas that are between defenses, because there's likely a spring trap there. And basically what happens with a spring trap is if a hog runs quickly over a spring trap, it's not a problem. If a hog runs and stops on the spring trap, that's when they get sprung. So that's the problem with the spring traps. So one thing to think about with that is if you basically in this area here, if you wanted to avoid, let's say you knew there's a spring trap there, if you sent a hog in there and a hog in there, then the hogs, of course, would go out in those directions, and it would not have to stop on that spring trap. Now, it's fine for a hog to run quickly over a spring trap. It's just when it stops on it that it gets sprung. So, again, those are some more advanced things that I want you to think about as you get better with hogging. But those are just some advanced features. Now, the basics of hogging is simple. You want to send in hogs, you want to keep them healed, use your heal spells as much as possible. Now, the best piece of advice that I can give you is do not take your eyes off your hogs once your hogs are released. It's so important that I'll say it again. Do not take your eyes off your hogs once your hogs are released, because you have to use your heal spells so well and keep them alive. If you blink and you look at the right side of your screen, left side of your screen to see, let me see if I can drop my wizards and my barb king, etc. You do that, all of a sudden you look back 2 seconds later and your hogs are gone and you have no idea why. So it's really important to watch those hogs and keep them healed. Typically what happens is you want to, depending on where you release your hogs, you want to keep them healed in areas that they're more likely to experience a lot of hit points, a lot of damage. So areas like this, and they're usually around wizard towers, areas like this would be a good area where you have 3 big defenses that are there. Areas like this would be a good area, and in areas like this. So those are the 3 areas, again, they're near the wizard towers that most likely you're going to use your heal spells, but that depends on where Ben's going to release his hogs from. Also, what I found, at least in the earlier stages, even though it's advantageous to do hog releases at multiple different sites, that's often advantageous or strategic. Other options, of course, would be 2-finger drops, and you drop them in 2s like that. Some people do I think it's called an Asian drop, where you drop a whole line of them. The bottom line is early on, when starting early, is if you can release even just a 1-finger or a 2-finger drop close together so that they'll all converge. If they can keep them close together, it's easier for you at this stage to keep an eye on them. And as you get more advanced, you can start spreading them out a little bit further. Anyway, let's watch Ben's attack, and we'll get some ideas of how to do things here. I'm going to fast forward. This is just the standard clan castle lore and kill. The only recommendation there is I would use my poison spell until I got my. I want to get my dragon into the poison mix where I can use them together. Whoop, let's scroll down. So releases all single point release, but it keeps a good eye on them. Has the heal down immediately in that area that's a high hit point area. Now they're spreading out, and I'd start thinking again about heal. Yep, great. The heal goes up top. Perfect. And he drops a heal in the center as well. So he's got them all well healed. He's going into one more critical area in the corner, but he's got plenty of hogs alive. They're going straight for the corner, which is perfect. Here they all go. So that difficult area is done. And that's basically the end of the attack. There's nothing more that this base can do to wreck this attack. So again, just simply is, even with the tough base, when you have, as you can see here, you've had giant bombs in the middle of the base, which is a tough base. As long as you keep those hogs alive with the heal, they're going to do just fine. And that's basically what he did. He went in from this side here, healed him in the first difficult area. The hogs converged in the middle. He used the heal there. Luckily, that's where the giant bombs were. So he had a heel right on them, and then it was able to destroy the rest of the base. So that's basically what we want to start with when early hog attacks is simple. Keeping your hogs together, uh, keeping your hogs together, keeping them healed, and not taking your eyes off the hogs. After you've put down your final heel, then you can start worried about cleanup, and you can start. And I would always look at the corners of the bases and drop a troop in each corner if you can, because you don't want to waste time. Or at the very least, take out two corners so that the hogs only have to go to two different corners. Let's say, like band attack from this side here, and the hogs made it across and down. So then I would drop my wizards here and here, and across the back here, so that my wizards are moving behind where there's absolutely no defenses that can take them out. And and you can do the same with the Barb King as well, or you can use your Barb King to tank for your hog. So again, another thing to think about is um, in this particular attack, when you know that there was another difficult area down here, you could drop your Barb King here before your hogs come around, so that this Wizard Tower and Archer Towers are firing on the Barb King, just a tank basically for your Barb King, for your hog. So that's another option. So you're not using a heal on them per se, but you're taking some fire so that they can get through. Again, those are things to think about after your last heal spells went down. Then you start thinking about those type of things, and use your Barb King basically almost like a fourth heal, but it's really a distraction. Anyway, guys, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed.